Hello, friends. This is Dave Hurwitz, executive editor at ClassicsToday.com. And here we are again with another one of those Decca Ultimate Essential Super Duper, 5 discs for the price of half a disc budgie sets. And this time it's Haydn. And I think this is the last one I have to talk about. You may be relieved to know. As usual with these things, they are kind of a grab bag. And you have to have pity on some of these people when they do composers like Bach or Haydn or Mozart. I mean, how do you pick the ultimate essential? I mean, why can't they just say a really good box of Haydn and make it a really good box of Haydn? I mean, not just say that, but actually do it that way. Because, they're not gonna, right? They wouldn't even know a really good box of anything if it hit them over the head. I mean, no way. But let's talk about what's in here, and we'll see how ultimate and essentially masterpieceful it actually is. All right, so first, we've got on the first two discs, we have 5 of the London Symphonies. Numbers 104 and 105 with the London Phil and Schulte. Mediocre performances, just mediocre. And numbers 94, 96, and 100 with the Philharmonia Ungarica and Antal Dorati. They're good. They're good. They're better than Schulte's for the most part. But, they're also not thrillingly fabulous. I have to say, though, and here is the point. So I'm waving this around. They're only dealing with London symphonies, with Haydn. I mean, you could do all kinds of things. And Decca has so much good stuff in other symphonies of other periods in Haydn's output. For example, I mean, now that they own Philips, they could have done... I would have done everything with Bruggen, frankly, because Bruggen did all the Sturm und Drangs, and he did the Paris symphonies, and he did the London symphonies, and they're really, really good period instrument performances. That would have been, I think, a wonderful way to cover a wider range of Haydn. And yes, they were on Philips, but now they're on Decca, so why the hell not? Right? But no, they had to just pick this strange assortment. I mean, number 95 is the least popular of all the London symphonies. I love the work, but that's not essential and ultimate. 104, of course, is the London one. That one you've got to do. 94 is the surprise. 96, well, that's the first one of the London symphonies, the Miracle. They could have done the drum roll. They could have done the clock. I don't get it. And 100, of course, is the Military, which is lovely. But it's even out of the London symphonies, I don't think it's the strongest possible selection. I really, really don't. But that's them. Okay, next, CD3. The Cello Concerto in C major with Rostropovich and Benjamin Britten. Lovely performance. Nothing to fetch about there. It's not the ultimate essential Haydn, nor are the Horn Concertos 1 and 2. Totally ephemeral. I mean, they may not even be by Haydn, some of them. Well, they are, supposedly, but they're very, very early and not terrible. I mean, there are no really interesting Horn Concertos. Sorry, folks. Not even Mozart's. I mean, you just, maybe Strauss's first one. Maybe. Okay, next. Trumpet Concerto. Yes, a flaming masterpiece. Amazing, wonderful. With Alan Stringer and Neville Mariner. It's a nice performance. Okay, so that's disc 3. But Haydn wasn't a concerto guy. I mean, I think the Trumpet Concerto could definitely be there, but the rest of it, nah. We don't need it. We just don't need it. It's not that it's not good music, but it's not ultimate and essential. Then we've got a bunch of string quartets, the Emperor and the Sunrise in Opus 76, number 5. Boy, is that just a strange assortment. I mean, you could have had the Lark, you could have had the Joke, you could have had a whole bunch of things with titles. You could have had one of the Opus 20s, and these are with the Aeolian String Quartet. Again, remember that was the box. They did all of them. They weren't bad. Some of them are very nice. It's a good, solid set. But, oh gosh, Decca has so much stuff. They could have, I'm not even going to go there. And they could have made such a more intelligent selection than these 3 random things. The Emperor, okay, yeah, but the others. Okay. And then CD5 has the Nelson Mass with the City of London Symphonia, Richard Hickox, and a bunch of soloists, and the London Symphony Chorus. Not thrilling, but not bad. And the Nelson Mass, one of the late masses, yes, absolutely ultimate essential Haydn. They weren't going to give us the Creation on 5 budgie discs, so what the heck? I can't complain with that. And then we've got two cantatas. We've got Ariana Anaxos and the Scena di Berenice che fai, with Arlene Auger and the Haydn and Handel and Haydn Society. Those people under Christopher Hogwood. Those are lovely. It's very nice to have some samples of Haydn's vocal music. It really is, as operatic music, which these are. I mean, they're not from operas, but they're operatic. And again, they are not actually essential ultimate Haydn works. They are not. I'm sorry. They just ain't. I mean, they could have done a piano trio, one of those. They could have, I mean, what could they have done? There's so much they could have done. And they didn't. They could have put the 7 last words. There's a real fascinating work. You know, in its original orchestral version. I don't think Decca has one of those. But whether they do or don't, the box is the box. It's cheap. It's not awful. There's nothing in here that's bad, that's actually horribly bad. Some stuff is really very good. And it's just a question of the selection, if it's still available, and if the selection appeals to you. But, oh, you could do so much better. So much better. You know. And I personally think that with these really cheap boxes, that the market for the really cheap boxes is not like the hardcore. It's beginners, it's people who don't know the music terribly well or just want to set something by the composer. It's even more important if this is a loss leader, if this is something you're going to toss out to try and get people interested in exploring further and making more purchases, that you really put your best foot forward. And they just almost never do. And is that smart? No, I mean, I ask you. So keep on listening, friends. Thanks for joining me. Take care.